Essentially, what we end up looking like are gut bacteria on this planet. We are so minuscule in the grand scheme of things, it's crazy. And just as the micro, so is the macro, right? So we have this, planet Earth that we feel like is really, really big to us. But essentially, in the grand scheme of the entire universe, the Earth actually isn't that big of a deal. It is literally a grain of salt in the grand scheme of the entire mighty universe. And then when you think about us as humans, and then you think about ants, the micro, the macro, the micro, the macro, we are essentially ants on this grain of salt or sand, like a little ant house that literally ants run around and they create little sand houses. And so when you think about it like that, and you think about the things that we're worried about on a daily basis, you take a step back and you think about evolution. We evolved to try and keep ourselves safe, right? So we developed this really, really beautiful mechanism called the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight, flight, or fawn. And so we've been trying to keep ourselves safe for a really, really long time. And because we were raised by unhealed people in an unhealed society, we have been continuing to perpetuate this imbalance, even though we're totally safe. We have amazing homes. We have access to endless amounts of food, and to the point that now our food is actually what's killing us. When you look around the grocery store and you see literally cancer in bags at this point, like everything that is around us has kind of evolved into something that could potentially hurt us, because the contrast of knowing what we don't want is helping us to get more clear on what we do want. And so when you see these things and you start to feel that intensity, that barbed wire around your heart, oh, this, that, and the other thing, these are all such bad things that have manifested in my physical reality, I challenge you and I challenge myself to, instead of looking at the thing and feeling sad about it, to think from the end. What does that mean? To think from the end means to visualize the new earth, the fully healed world where there is no poverty, where all of us have beautiful homes, where there's no such thing as homelessness. And I get it, from the place where we're at right now, deep in the contrast, it's hard to think from the end. But we are visionaries, and we are here to shift the consciousness of this entire planet. And we have a responsibility to the thought leaders that have come before us to show up in this way and translate this vibration so that we can all see things differently. So especially when you start talking about, I feel good about this thing, but, and then whatever comes after the but, we got to cut that out right now. So there's stages of growth to this, because as visionaries, as thought leaders, which we all are, we are all responsible for changing the collective story, right? We've been focusing on changing our own story about our relationship with food, our own story about our relationship with our body, our own story about our relationship with this, that, and the other thing. Now it's time to start changing the collective story about all of the things that are going on around us. So when you start talking about your healing journey and you start to hear yourself saying, well, people don't understand this, or people just want the easy way out, or people don't understand delayed gratification. I want us to become super conscious to the point where we're not throwing the collective under the bus anymore. We have to stop throwing the collective under the bus, because what we think about manifests into form. And so if we're telling the story of people, this, that, or the other thing, they're going to keep doing that. We hold the collective in a vibration of what we don't want by talking about what we don't want. We have to start telling the story of people are innately good. People have fear-based conditioning, but they want to learn and they're ready to wake up. We've been asleep for so long, but who's to say that this contrast isn't the thing that's actually birthing the desire of us healing? Because it is. It truly, truly is. So starting to rewire and reroute those new neural networks and talking about the world the way that you want it to be. Do not dare say anything about anything that you're not wanting anymore. Let's all do it. We're all going to make the promise to each other. Throw your pinkies up. We are in this together. We want collective consciousness healing, and we always get what we want. always. Yes, I love it. It's so powerful. And when we can be the person that shows up in the conversation and that says, no, you know what? The world is healing right now. I see it all around me. I don't meet one single person who's not ready to have this conversation. It's already ours. Exactly. It's already ours. It's happening right now. The new earth is here now. And it's just a matter of if you can see it or not. And the truth is, some people that are living right now on this planet will never get to see the new earth because everything is consciousness. Consciousness is what we see. We are only seeing what we're conscious of. Our physical world has manifested around us through thought first and manifested into form. Our physical reality is a mirror of what's happening inside of our minds. So whatever we believe will happen, will happen. So let's go back to this idea of thinking from the end. What is your mission? What is your goal, right? Start with the end product. What does it look like? What's the big, powerful, final form manifestation of the thing? Because when you can see that, and you know that it's only a matter of time before that happens, that's when you start to magnetize the cooperative components. You start to understand what the process is going to be like to get there. But if you're here and you have no idea what even the finish line looks like or where it is or why you even want it, you're never going to get there. And you're going to stay stuck, wrapped up in the confusion of the fear-based society that raised you. So when you think from the end, when you take that quantum leap into the future and you start talking to your future self and you say, I can have whatever I want. There is nothing I cannot be, do, or have. And you show up as the person who has what you're wanting. You give yourself this opportunity to say, okay, future Christina, what sounds fun? What action can I take? What is a small step on my quantum timeline that I can take today to get me to where I want to go? And when it comes to collective consciousness healing, what that looks like, that small step that we can all take today is starting to tell the new story about the way that society is. Because what we speak manifests into form. What we think manifests into words. What we say manifests into form. And we're starting to see evidence of this, right, in your life. You guys who have been practicing the law of attraction, who have been inside of the program for a really long time, are literally physically starting to see this manifested into form reality that is now your new earth, your NERTH. And you are sliving on the NERTH. Sliving is slang and living, popularized by Paris Hilton. And NERTH is the new earth, popularized by us, Universal Source. So when you tap into that and you say, I want to see the new earth. I want to feel good. You can detour into fear all you want, but then you think from the end and you say, but wait, I remember who I am. I remember where I'm going. And so if you're going to talk really nicely about this new earth, you also better be talking really nicely about yourself. And they go vice versa. They go back and forth. It's all the same. The way you're talking about yourself is the same way you're talking about the world, is the same way you're talking about other people. However, whatever frequency that you are tuned to, whatever vibration that you are broadcasting, right? We are all little radios and we are broadcasting to different channels. We broadcast and we speak, and we also download from certain channels as well. So whatever frequency we're tuned to, we are going to be literally speaking into existence those things from that frequency. Ask yourself, am I on the vibration of the old world, talking shit to myself, talking shit about the world, talking shit about others, talking shit about myself again, talking shit about myself again, talking shit about myself again to myself, right? You notice that. You say, oh, wait, no, I'm trying to live on the NERTH. And then you think it's funny. And that's the key to everything, is you want it to be funny. Because you want to remember that you didn't come here to save this world because it needed you to save it and it was going to be a hard, scary job. No, you came here to have fun. You came here because you are a soul in a body, and you said it will be fun to be physically focused. And it is freaking fun. It is so fun to be physically focused. So when you're focusing on the things that feel good and you're tuned to the new earth frequency and you're magnetizing cooperative components from thinking from the end, When you see yourself manifested into form, doing the thing that you want to do, especially when the thing that you want to do is the thing that's going to help other people do what they want to do, you know that there's nothing that can stand in your way because you're not doing it for yourself. None of this is for our own physical, just Christina or just you thing. This is a collaboration. This is a co-creation. This is a collective consciousness healing. We are here with one goal in mind. That is to heal ourselves, to heal the world. Because it's fun, not because we have to, but because why not? It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Better together. We're sliving. And so I was literally gazing out at the gorge. You guys, oh my gosh, if you haven't seen my story yet, go peep the story because it was breathtaking. So I was laying in a sound bath. Flashback to Saturday. I'm laying in a sound bath. I'm literally channeling my future self. My future self is giving a talk on stage. I'm laying in this sound bath. I'm hearing the vibration. I'm feeling all of the people around me collectively channeling their future selves. I'm feeling this essence and energy of the Earth, the new Earth. So happy, in tears, just complete pure bliss, crazy visuals, the most beautiful essence and energy of pure consciousness ever. And I have this download about the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is essentially the part of our mind that hasn't manifested into form yet. The subconscious is the feminine and the conscious is the masculine. Okay, so the masculine is manifested into physical form already. So we're conscious of the physical reality that's around us right now, right? This is a tree, this is my dog, this is my body, this is my physical reality that I've manifested into form, which is freaking crazy to think about because your girl was sleeping on the floor of an apartment, in a studio apartment for months on end, wishing that I could live in a place like this. And now, of course, I live here because if I can do it, anyone can do it because it is law. Everyone deserves to feel this good. And so I've manifested this physical reality and I step into my closet and look at my clothes and I'm like, wow, I always wanted to have all of these clothes like this. And now they're mine because I had a desire. I thought from the end. I was on Pinterest. I'm pulling up pictures of closets. I'm pulling up pictures of apartments that I want. I am using my subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is the feminine, right? So even when I don't have any of this, I'm sleeping on the freaking floor of my studio apartment on Pinterest. Like I want this, that, or the other thing, like literal pictures of like a girl who looks like me and a guy who looks like Matt before I even met Matt, before I even left Massachusetts on my vision board. That's the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the part of the mind that is literally feeling what you want to manifest into form, right? So the subconscious mind is like a wife. The subconscious mind is so sweet and so loving. She's not pushy, but she's very gentle and she always ends up doing whatever is best for the collective, right? And always ends up doing whatever is seen in the form and felt. It's a feeling. It's not about the words as much as it's about the feeling that you're having, okay? So think about it like this. When we talk about channeling, okay, I'm channeling universal source right now. I'm channeling God's energy. I'm channeling a vibration. It's not that God is literally speaking into my ear saying words that I should say. It's that it's a vibration. It's a frequency. This is coming through so strong. It's like the word Christmas. The word Christmas is fast because when I say the word Christmas, you understand Santa, you understand the birth of Jesus, you understand Mary and Joseph, you understand snow, you understand a Christmas tree, you understand cake, you understand a beautiful meal. The word Christmas encompasses all of those things. That is a vibration, right? That is a frequency that you're channeling. That's the subconscious mind. That's how the subconscious mind works. The subconscious mind is like Christmas and then boom, you can see all of those different things into form, you visualize it. And so you're there. So you have to feel that energy, right? You have to feel the energy of what's coming through for you in your future by thinking from the end, right? So what's that thing that you want? What is a word that embodies that? And y'all came through with the best words that absolutely embody everything that we're wanting. And I really still can't even get over this collaboration word because none of us are doing this alone. And I'm so excited to be doing it together because we are the collective consciousness. And this is a massive co-creation. This is co-creation at its best. And so when you're thinking in your subconscious mind, your body, this in this physical form is just one modality that my soul is using to essentially frolic around at a rave, right? So that is this body's purpose. This body loves to send itself. It has so much fun. It's very fun to be physically focused. But the truth is, everything is created in my mind. The way that I feel matters more than anything else. So if I'm thinking a thought of what I'm wanting and I'm seeing it manifest into form, and I'm standing in the place where it's literally going to manifest into form, I can literally, and I did literally, channel my future self this weekend multiple times, more often than not. More often than not, I was having an outer body experience this weekend. And you can too. You can do that every single day in your meditation practice. And you better be doing it, because you have a responsibility as a visionary and as a thought leader. We are all channeling universal source energy, all of us. So when you're thinking about what you're wanting, when you're thinking from the end and you're seeing it as if you already have it, you got to feel the emotion of having it, because the subconscious feeling of having it is what you need to have before the actual conscious, visible, physical, manifested, material reality can show up, right? I was going to sleep laying on the floor of my studio apartment, literally dreaming about waking up next to Matt. I'm going to find my soulmate. He's going to be so awesome. He's going to be so tapped in. He's going to like to dance. He's going to like to listen to music. He's going to be connected to God. He's going to love himself. He's going to help me grow. He's going to do all of the things that I maybe can't do, like read a map. And he does all of those things, everything I could have ever wanted, and things that I didn't even know that I wanted. And the key is to know that it's actually going to be better than you can even think. It's going to be better than you can even imagine. It's going to be better than you can ever dream of. But you have to be focused on what you're wanting, because the same is true with what you don't want. And if you're focused on what you don't want and you're visualizing it and you're feeling it in your subconscious, that shit is going to come true, because these laws are consistent. And the reason those things are going to come true is just so that you can understand, just like when you get a cut. Just like when you get a cut, it's a pain point. It's like, please take care of this thing. This is out of alignment. This needs to heal. Okay? Anything that goes wrong in your physical world, your material world, is just an opportunity for you to say, what the fuck thoughts am I thinking that are manifesting something that I don't want? And then you take it from there and you say, okay, I'm super clear on what I don't want. Now, what do I want? Step one is the contrast. Step one is knowing what we don't want. We do not want to live in an unhealed world. We do not want to live in a world full of poverty and scarcity and fear. So from that place of knowing what we don't want, we're choosing to get clear on what we do want. We're choosing to think from the end. What do we want? We want collective consciousness healing. Okay, we've placed the order. Ask and it is given. Matthew 7:7. Step two is not our job. Source has everything we need all lined up for us already. Every single thing that we need to get whatever the fuck we want is all lined up for us. But sometimes we're not able to see it because we're too busy letting the physical conditioned voice in our head talk shit. Talk shit about ourselves, talk shit about society, talk shit about the old world. Right? By focusing on the old world, we create more of an old world. And so when we're trying to hash these things out and try and figure out, why is this going wrong? Why is that going wrong? All we have to do is just pop it down. Step two, source has it. Step three, stay open to receiving the answer. When we're open to receiving, then step four comes in, boom, the answer falls right in your lap. You have everything that you need and more. And step five is step one with grace. So knowing that there's contrast, knowing that there's fear-based conditioning, but being like, I love it. Give me monkeypox, give me COVID, give me a recession, give me all the contrast, because guess what? It's going to get everyone to literally be like, I can't take it anymore. Fuck it. I'll do whatever it takes to get myself to feel better. And that's a good thing. Because if we're just living in this place of like, oh, it's kind of bad, it's kind of good, it's kind of bad, it's kind of good, no one is going to show up and actually take the steps that they need to take to get what they need to get out of their lives. And so from the contrast, we are able to then say, okay, what can I do to feel better? And the truth is, the only price that you have to pay to get everything that you want is to feel good. How fun is that? How set are we? We're so set. If you are feeling good, you are in vibrational alignment with what you want, right? And so I'm looking out at the gorge after that sound bath, after I just channeled myself. I walk up and I see the sky is beautiful. There's a gorgeous stage. There's pink chairs everywhere. It's like DMT colors everywhere. Everyone got the freaking memo. Literally, everyone got the memo. Rainbows, butterflies, unicorns, like everywhere. Good vibes only everywhere. It was heaven on earth. It was the nerve. It was the nerve. And we're living on the nerve. And so, and I'm crying and I'm like, this is amazing. This is so beautiful, right? And I'm thinking to myself throughout the night, like, okay, micro, macro, this world, the universe, God's looking down on us. God's recording this whole thing and he's so happy that we're all so happy because all he wants is for us to be happy. We're so freaking free that we choose bondage. We're so free that we choose bondage. And the only way that we can free ourselves is to think from the end and to start telling the story of what we want and then watch it manifest into form. And so then it starts to get dark. Well, the sunset was insane. And then it starts to get dark and all the light toys start to come out. We have these really, really fun Glowzilla. Ozella got me my beautiful whip and we were all playing with our whips and it was so amazing. It was so much fun. And so there's lights everywhere and there's lasers coming out of the stage and everybody's so happy and everyone's just jumping around. And as you're looking from the top all the way down, it's like literally I had this download and I was like, we're fucking gut bacteria on this planet. This is the micro and the macro. It all makes so much sense. Oh my gosh, humans are literally just gut bacteria on this planet. If we just take our pre and probiotics, which are psychedelics and love, we're all going to be happy and the earth is going to heal its fucking self because we're happy. If the gut bacteria is happy, the whole thing is happy, right? Illness starts from stress. This planet has a lot of stress because these gut bacteria aren't taking their probiotics, psychedelics, and we are bringing that to the world right now, you guys, okay? So the first wave was the shamans. The second wave was the hippies. The hippies went off the rails and they didn't necessarily use science-backed information and they didn't care enough about integration. Integration is the main thing that we need with psychedelics in order for this to work out for us. And guess what? Now we have the science and now we have the really powerful integration skills that we need it to turn this planet around, turn this ship around and set sails onto beautiful, beautiful, joyful lives for everyone and for the collective. And so I'm looking around and there's all these happy gut bacteria everywhere. And then I'm having a moment and I'm detouring into fear. And then I'm saying, is that the happy gut bacteria, Christina? I don't think so. What do I want? Collective consciousness healing. What does that mean? I need to be happy gut bacterium. What's a thought that I can think that will make me feel better? Oh yeah, look all around you. Everything is great. Usually we're detoured into fear. We're thinking a thought that doesn't feel good. We're saying, I'm blaming who for what again about all of these different things that are going on. And then we realize, oh wait, actually everything is awesome. Everything is totally fine. Everything is great. It was just a little detour into fear. And then you realize the detour into fear, you release the fear and you choose love instead. And that's the miracle. That's the holy instant. Okay. And then, so I go and lay down and I rip the DMT pen and I'm laying down and God literally says, my daughter, Christina, do you mind if I heal your body? And I go, absolutely, please, please, please. And I feel like this fiery light, bright white light energy come into my head. It all starts in my head and then it starts to move down my body. And I feel it come to my heart. I take another rip of the DMT pen. I hold it really long. I feel my heart literally turn into a light whip. You guys know what a light whip is like? Sometimes they get tangled in themselves. And so you kind of have to like run your fingers through it. And I felt God's fingers running through my light whip heart lit up in green, releasing any bondage, releasing any fear-based perceptions, releasing all of it. And then I ripped the DMT again. I took another hit and then it moved down into my belly. And I literally felt air move through my digestive system. No word of a joke. Like I felt movement in my bowels, like my digestive system was moving. And I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. I feel so good. Oh, one thing that actually doesn't feel that good is my big toes because I have really bad ingrown toenails. I've had them forever. And so God is like, can I heal your big toes? Or maybe I think at that point, I actually said, can you please heal my big toes? Something or other like that happened. And there was a conversation that went on between me and God. And he was like, yes, of course, I'll do that for you. My daughter, Christina. It's always my daughter, Christina. And it's so cool. And so then my feet literally light on fire. Like they feel like they're on fire with beautiful, bright white light healing energy. And my big toes stop hurting. You guys, I probably did maybe 30K steps a day. I don't know because I didn't wear my watch, but my toes, if I hadn't have had that experience, would be killing me right now in this moment. Like I would still be in physical pain. And then I went through another day of 1,000,000 steps. Not at one point did my big toes hurt. We are healing ourselves by connecting to God. We are the art of allowing. We are allowing source to come into our bodies, to take over us, and do the work, right? We don't have to do anything. Use us, universal source energy, use us, let us do it. You don't have to do a damn thing. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Stop doing it. Ask us what feels fun. We'll tell you what to do. And then you take inspired action from that place. Get clear on what is the end game. What is your final form? Write down what your final form is. What does your final form of your manifested reality look like? Script it out. I wake up in the morning. I have time to go to yoga. I get celery juice after yoga. I fast till noon every day. I have a beautiful job. I help people every single day. Whatever you want, as long as you're clear on it, you're going to have it. And as long as you practice the vibration of it, you're going to learn the lessons that you need to learn to become the person who has everything that you want. The thing is, we forget that we are creators created in the likeness of our creator, and we start unconsciously creating. And we fill the subconscious mind with our fears. And we're practicing the vibration of the things that we're scared of. And we manifest scary things into our life. And we manifest more evidence about those scary things. But the good news is the same is true for the other way around. The same is true for what you do want. So if you can use your power of focus to focus on what you are wanting, to focus on collaborating and aligning and releasing the fears and focusing on love instead, you show up in that way. And when you forget all of the fear-based bullshit, it falls away. You see it, you release it. The stages of growth are really, really powerful. So it starts like this. You are essentially starting by telling the story of what you don't want constantly. You're just telling the story of what you don't want. And then you start to realize, oh, I'm telling the story of what I'm not wanting. Okay, that's fair. And then you end up telling the story of what you don't want again. And then you say, damn it, I really can't stop telling this story. Okay, what's my new story? And then you think of the new story, and then you start telling the new story. So it's like the old story is followed by the new story. So it's like the old world is followed by the new world. And then what starts to happen is, okay, now I start to tell the new world story first. So now you're in this place where you've been practicing your new story so much, but then the but comes in and you start telling the old story again. So it's like the new world starts, but then that doubt creeps in and you send that word but, and then you start telling the old story again. And the next stage of growth is that you just tell the new story and you fuck that but and you leave it away. You don't even talk about the part of the story that is making you feel vibrational discomfort. So cut yourself some slack, because it takes time to go from telling the old story to telling the new story. And then from telling the new story and then accidentally telling the old story right after, because you're still trying to work through it in your mind. And then to the point where now you're just telling the new story and you're fucking going to the moon, just telling that story. So your mission this week is to figure out, how can I think from the end? What is my final form in this current manifestation? And remember, it's not going to be your final form in retirement. It's going to be your final form for this current goal that you had. So for example, when I first started my business, Christina Joy Coaching, I said, I want to help people heal their bodies and heal their minds. I want to spread joy far and wide. I want to create a group of people who want to support each other and be there for each other. I want to create a group energy where nothing can stop us and we feel so connected and we're light and aligned. And so here we are, right? So that physically manifested into form. And now I'm sitting here having done that, having evidence that this shit works. You guys have seen me go from 108 pounds to build a booty. You've seen me gain a ton of weight and lose it after hormonal imbalance. You've seen me build this business, and you know that we're exactly the same because you're here because we are one, because you understand me and I understand you, and we are all the same, and we're all on the same quantum timeline, and we've all chosen this path together before we even came here. This was the plan that we made with God before we came to this planet, was that this was going to be a thing, right? And so take this moment to sit down and say, what is my thing that I'm manifesting into form? What is my thing that I want? And know that by getting clear on what you're wanting and what you want your day to look like and what you want your community to look like and feel like, you will have it. You just have to think more about this than you think about the old world. You have to live in the earth more than you're living in the old world. So just start to notice, where am I? What do I want? Who am I? Oh, right. I'm a soul and a body, and I want to live on the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften your eyes to close, grow tall through your spine. Relax your shoulders down your back. Start to visualize your final form. What is your end game for this current physical manifestation? What do you look like 1 year from now? One of my favorite things to project in my subconscious mind is how long my hair will be next year. Add 6 inches to however long your hair is if you're using money. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Time is an illusion. It doesn't take time, it takes alignment. Knowing that when you're conscious of what you're wanting, you're able to start showing up as the person who has what you want. You're practicing the vibration of what you're wanting. And from that place of practicing that vibration, you're manifesting into physical form opportunities for you to learn what the person who has everything that you want knows. There are things that I know now that I did not know last year. But I knew where I was going, and I knew I wanted to be where I am right now. And so I started showing up as a person who had everything that I want, and God graciously gave me everything that I needed to get to this point. Breathe in, breathe out. We are exactly the same. It's time to start visualizing that dream life version of ourselves and start researching, start studying, watch closely, learn from the people who have what you want. It's incredible because all of the thoughts that we think into form, usually someone else has had those thoughts, right? Thoughts are manifestations. And God gives us these thoughts, these thought forms that we're thinking so that we can take action on them, so we can carry out his plan. This is about God's plan. Your plan is to follow his plan, right? Because his plan is awesome. So you get to chill and you just get to listen, and you just get to listen to what God's plan is. And you're downloading God's plan for you right now into your subconscious mind, and you're practicing it. What are you wearing? What does your day look like? What does that version of yourself nourish with? What kind of activities does that version of yourself do? What kind of people does that version of yourself hang out with? What kind of actions are you taking 1 year from now? And then you start taking those really significant actions today with ease and grace and excitement. Miracles arise from conviction. When you believe what you want, And when you think from the end and you're clear on the path, that's when quantum timeline leaps happen. Breathe in. Breathe out. This time, breathe in, fill the belly, fill the ribs, fill the chest, hold the breath at the top. Allow the breath to expand through your whole body. Feel yourself being healed just by virtue of knowing that you are the most healed version of yourself. And then breathe out. Breathe out that healing into the world, because there's no such thing as illness. It's all an illusion. We are tapped into the never-ending stream of wellness, because when we feel well and when our minds are healed, our nervous system is not activated. We are calm, we are relaxed, we feel good, and our immune systems can fight off anything. When our minds are calm, our bodies are calm, and our bodies are so strong, they can heal themselves. We are literally evolving, so much so that we are healing the world and saving the human race just by sitting in meditation together here right now. We are literally wiring new neural networks in our minds. We are creating new structures in our brains. We are evolving to become telepathic. We've literally created technology so that we can wire neural networks in our mind for deeper communication with each other. And the truth is, the more that we get to know ourselves, the more that we understand each other. So telepathy is possible, and it's happening right now. We are one being. We are one, not in just the sense of, yes, we're one, like it's so cool, it's such a good saying. No, we are literally one being. We are one body as a human race together, ebbing and flowing on the living being that is the earth. So when we support ourselves and when we get to know ourselves on an extremely deep level, we know each other on the most powerful, deepest possible case scenario level, because we are all exactly the same. Exactly the same, exactly the same. Consciousness, witnessing consciousness, witnessing consciousness, witnessing consciousness. We are souls in bodies. Breathe in. Breathe out. We are on a mission. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold the breath at the bottom on empty. Collective consciousness healing is what we want, and we always get what we want. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands come to your heart center, thumb knuckles touch the sternum. Feel the right and the left hemispheres of the body and the brain align as you press your hands palms together. The right side symbolizing consciousness, your ability to see the world around you, what you are conscious of in your physical manifested reality, your material world. And the left side, the divine feminine, the subconscious mind, the co-creation that's happening, the visualization, the feeling, the translation of vibration, just like the word Christmas. You need to get so clear on what your end game looks like that you can say the word end game and every single thing that you want pops into your subconscious mind and you can see it clearly into form. You know where you are, you know what you're wearing, you know the team that's around you. You are so crystal clear as the glistening snow on Christmas night. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Rub your hands, palms together, create warmth and friction, symbolizing your ability to create fire, passion, excitement. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands, palms go right over your eyes. Feel the darkness of the hands over the eyes and the warmth. Knowing that from the contrast of knowing what we don't want, we get more clear on what we do want. There is nothing we cannot be, do, or have. Our goal is to see our end game clearly so we can quantum leap all the way there. Blink your eyes open into the darkness of your hands and release the hands down by the sides. Yay! You guys, we figured it out. We figured it out. It's so good. It's so easy. It's so fun. The laws are so clear and consistent. We can have whatever we want. We just have to focus on it, and it's going to happen because we know. We have physical manifested evidence. So keep your beautiful, cute little gut bacteria antennas out. Keep magnetizing all of the solutions. And I want you to go ahead and write down, what does your end game look like? What is that thing that you're really wanting? What does your life look like? Write it out in your journal. I want an entire page. I'm asking a lot today. I want an entire page of what does your life look like? What do you want? What is your end game? Take a picture of the page and send it to the VIP chat. I want to see these, and I want it done by the end of the night tonight. And if you're watching the recording of this, still do this prompt and send it to the group. We'll all remember where this came from.